Today, Precarious plays
Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Oh, I'm remembering why I don't use the light teleporters. You have to go through this on both ends of the teleport, you know?
Pew.
Those little chambers are super cool narratively because it really signifies them as strongholds, you know?
Yeah.
But it really sort of defeats the purpose of... I would like to quickly move between two locations, please.
Okay, but first let us sing and dance to you for an extended cutscene while we load the shit.
What is
La,
it?
la, la,
No!
la, la.
That little sanctum room can't be that expensive to load. That's ridiculous. I refuse to believe it.
Well, whatever it actually is. There's this place.
Hold on. I need you to read me the words.
Oh, are you looking for clues?
Yes.
Reactor, lagoon, and catacombs.
No, we did one of them. We did reactor, I think.
No, we did mining.
We did another one.
Oh, okay. So we also did reactor?
Let me double check, because I don't want to mess things up in a minute. It was right there. We did reactor.
We did reactor. So then what remains is lagoon, catacombs, and then one that doesn't have a clue.
Lagoon and catacombs.
Will it go right out and use one of those words on the map?
Yeah, up at the top.
Okay. Secret tunnel. The thing that I wanted to talk about with Dwarf Fortress, like some of the little tiny story arcs that came up, that have come up since you've been playing, is I think that if I'm remembering correctly, you had a really, really prolific dwarven sculptor.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about that?
I don't.
Oh. Now I'm gonna wonder how much of this I'm making up.
It's fine.
Because it doesn't matter,
part of the
right?
point, yeah.
But you can have dwarven artisans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had a dwarven artisan that was a sculptor, and they make sculptures, they make art pieces that are associated with different concepts, right?
Yeah.
So, like, they have a concept, and this dwarf was cranking out a bunch of different moody sculptures, like lots of them, with lots of thought and feeling behind them. And eventually they got to be very well known and were making a lot of money and contributing well to society, and to a point where I think one of their major sculptures was installed in like the big dining hall, like the community dining hall, the fancy one, fancy dining room, because dwarves can eat in lots of places. But like, I just remember thinking like, wow, this fortress is decorated with lots of fine sculpture that's really emotional and highly conceptual, right? That is not being depicted in any way other than a description. Mm-hmm. And not even like a specific description, just like, this one is about the sorrows of this battle.
Yeah.
And that fortress had a lot of good art in it, and we knew who made it. You know, it's like contemplating who goes and decorates the Dead Space environments. Like, who ran around here with a paintbrush and a bucket of blood? You know? But it's more like going into, I don't know.
That was a lot of work for a missile tank.
Yeah, it was. But it's like going into one of those castles like a medieval fantasy castle, and you almost never get to hear about who made the whatever. There's even a famous tapestry out here in the meat space, a real tapestry, that I can't remember the name of the tapestry right now, but I wrote it down because I have a bad memory. And it was commissioned, and it's about a certain, what were those? Crusade. It was about a certain crusade.
Finally!
Woo!
I finally got whatever I got to the end. I don't actually even care what it is. I can't believe, though, that this is the energy tank, and then the big tree falling over was the missile tank.
Yeah. Well, so the point is that there are always like all of these fancy artifacts around, but nobody tells you that Joe the blacksmith did it, you know? But in this case, it would be like going into the fantasy world and then going to a banquet and then being introduced to the sculptor that did all of the fountains in the room. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you're a real person that is living here and making art about the times. I know they do that with the bard character in fantasy stories a lot, where like there will be songs embedded within fantasy stories, or like be telling the news that way, and it's like, oh yeah, this is the person who is living now who is writing this stuff. But it so infrequently happens with the sculptor. Like occasionally, like the blacksmith who's making the fancy sword to kill the big whatever is in the story, but like never the artist.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless...
Much more reverence for craftspeople.
But it's funny, unless you... I think that there are, enough games, especially, where it's like, no, the hero is an artist, and we're gonna send them on a whole fantasy adventure. Like right now, I'm thinking of what's it called?
Well, I've got one I'm thinking about.
It's a cute little game.
Actually, I've got two I'm thinking about now.
Chicory, I think, might be the name of the game, or is that just the name of a character? Or like your character is like a little puppy. A little painter puppy.
I don't remember that, but that lines up with one of the ones that I was remembering.
Oh, yeah?
Okami.
Oh, yeah.
And Magic Pendulum.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say they were all good. I just said that there were some where they very, very clearly like go super specific, and it's a little strange that it's Wow, Fatal Frame. There's another one.
Fatal Frame. That's very.
Photographer saves, well, they don't save the world, I don't think, usually, but they save their own lives with photography, and I don't know if they're actually photographers. I think they might just be people that are doing photography under duress. And who isn't?
What photographer is not photographing under duress?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I remember that story and I really liked it because I also remember you were having problems where you were running out of space to store a certain amount of sculptures. Like, it's like, it was a thing. There was inventory management problems. There was like, where on earth am I going to display this? And oh my gosh, everybody really likes this sculpture. It's clogging up this hallway because people are stopping to look at it. Like, I remember stuff like that happening, and now I'm not sure how much of it was being made up. But does like most of this align with what's possible?
That's the beauty of it. The answer is fully 100% of it was being made up.
Well, I suppose. But do you feel like what I'm describing aligns with what is possible in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
Dwarf Fortress is a game where after a new system was introduced, cats kept dying of alcohol poisoning because they kept, like, getting it in their eyes or something.
What?
Have I told you about the fish?
I mean, I don't know. Have you? What about the fish?
This is a classic Dwarf Fortress scenario. Classic Dwarf Fortress story. So, after some sort of like skill advancement was introduced for entities in the game world. Mm-hmm. It's a very reasonable idea, right? It's whenever somebody does something, they should get better at that thing and maybe just improve a little, generally. You know? So, whenever someone improves their swimming skill, they should get a little more buff, right?
Right.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Fish live in water.
Oh my
Do you see where this is headed yet?
So the fish were getting more skilled at swimming?
No, they were, well, technically, I mean, maybe also that.
But they were getting stronger?
Yes.
So they were like
Fish
counting
were-
as a workout every time they swam, which was constantly.
Exactly. So fish were getting buffed because they were living that 100 always be working out aquatic lifestyle.
But dwarves were not getting equally as buff from being always standing up and walking around.
Right.
Okay. No, I can see how this is a problem.
So dwarves would go near the shore and would get fucking annihilated by these trout, these hyper buff trout where it's like, bro, do you even swim?
Dwarf goes fishing and the trout's like, get fucked, noob. Eat shit. Come eat me, I'ma eat you.
Yeah, exactly. Poor little fisher dwarves were getting
I don't remember this.
annihilated by fish.
Oh my god, I'm so looking forward to this for you. Please save me the stories. Because I don't want to manage a fortress. No, thank you.
But this is the lagoon, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it's under the water again. Bet it's under the water.
Bet.
Are you down here? It's a little tough to. Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm. There it is. I'm glad I didn't give up so quickly, because I was about to be like, oh, it's probably like a tiny side room that was also called the something lagoon. Hey, I wonder if my
So we did
jetpack still
reactor.
works.
We did lagoon. We did mining. Now we just need catacombs and then some mystery sauce.
You know what? We're near the end of an episode, right?
Yeah, we're here. We have arrived.
Let me do a final check, because there's a save station right there. Let me do a final check for the day. Because more important than the information we have there, it's the final result. So 3 are accounted for here. 5, 6. Wait. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Six, and then there's a 7th here. 8, and then there's a 9th there. Okay, so there's one more key in the dark version of Sky Temple Fortress. Sky Temple. No.
Oh, these naming conventions.
But no, I just need the. Take me to the light world, you guys. Sanctuary Fortress. That's why I couldn't remember. It's sort of a stupid name.
Yeah, that's two of the same right there.
Yeah.